Listen to Sergio Sanchez every morning on News Talk 710 KURV and on the Radio Parami app. Stay informed with exclusive interviews from top local and state leaders, plus economic development news, business, and medical reports, and all the local news from the RGV. It's everything you need to know to start your day right. Sergio Sanchez and News Talk 710 KURV on the free Radio Parami app. Download it now.
Jewish and Muslim parents suing, arguing this violates their First Amendment right to freedom of religion. The board adopted the lessons in 2022 to better represent all families and allowed parents to opt kids out until early 2023 when it stopped that option. In court records, it says teachers are not allowed to enforce a particular viewpoint. Kristen Goodwin, Fox News.
And while that controversy simmers in Maryland, is yet another legal battle over another gender issue in Minnesota involving the controversy over biological males in women's sports.
Minnesota Attorney General Keith Ellison has filed a preemptive lawsuit against the Trump administration, seeking to block the White House from acting against Minnesota in the same way it's taking on Maine.
I'm not going to sit around waiting for the Trump administration to sue Minnesota.
Both states are refusing to comply with Trump's executive order banning transgender females from playing in girls' or women's sports under Title IX. The administration has sued Maine, seeking to pull funding. Ellison says the White House is trying to bully vulnerable children, but the administration says it's trying to protect female athletes from being bullied by being forced to compete with stronger and faster biological males. Tom Rigotti, Fox News.
In the NBA playoffs, the Thunder roll.
SGA over the shoulder pass, Dort will fire away, and Dort.
Oklahoma City, the top seed in the West, beat Memphis 118-99 on FanDuel Sports Oklahoma to go up 2-0. Indiana top Milwaukee 123-115 to also go up 2-0. The LA Lakers got even with Minnesota, taking game 2 94-85. I'm Dave Anthony, Fox News.
News Talk 710 KURV, broadcasting from the Valley's All-American Truck Headquarters studio at PayneAutomall.com.
It is a Wednesday edition of the Valley's Morning News. It is April 23rd, 2025. Thanks for joining us. Show producer Fred Cruz, AccuWeather meteorologist Jeffrey Nordine. He's on standby. I'm Sergio Sanchez. Police in McAllen are asking for your help in locating a woman suspected of bank fraud. Her name is Caitlin Nicole Robinson, likely from Chicago, has been using false information to pass bad checks. And according to authorities, at least 2 banks have been hit. She is wanted on several charges, including theft and check forgery. 38-year-old Caitlin Nicole Robinson is traveling through the area, likely using an alias. In Austin, state lawmakers still budgeting billions of dollars for border security, even though illegal immigration has literally slowed to a crawl. Both houses of the legislature have set aside $6.5 billion for border security in state spending for the next 2 years. This appropriation would bring the total spent on border security to nearly 18 billion Texas dollars since 2021, when Governor Greg Abbott launched Operation Lone Star to push back against the open border policies of the Biden administration. There's a new effort in the fight against illegal immigration into Texas.
Lawmakers now targeting the businesses that hire illegal immigrants. State Senator Lois Kolkhorst wants to mandate the use of E-Verify by all employers.
I use it in our company, and it is easy. For $6 a month, you can hire somebody else to do it for you.
She says without jobs, there's not a magnet that will draw people to our border. In her bill, private employers will also be banned from designating workers as independent contractors in order to circumvent the requirement.
It's Michael Board reporting. Also from Austin, some state lawmakers, they would like a new study on how much money the state of Texas is losing to illegal immigration.
2006 was the last time Texas commissioned a study to assess the financial impact of illegal immigration. The Texas Senate has now given preliminary approval to Senate Bill 825 to do just that. State Senator Mays Middleton authored it.
State and local expenditures, infrastructure, healthcare, and education costs, as well as broader economic effects.
Senate Democrats argued the study should also include the financial positives of migrants. Senator Roland Gutierrez.
By way of buying houses, buying cars, building houses, taking care of your kids, and so on and so on.
We do not want to spend taxpayer dollars to study the positive aspects of breaking the law.
In Austin, Chris Fox, News Talk 710 KURV.
Coming up after AccuWeather, some of the bean counters and economists and the learned that are watching economies worldwide saying there's one major world economy, only one, that is expected to shrink. Well, it's not the U.S., but yeah, they're really, really close to us. So we'll talk about that right after AccuWeather. It's AccuWeather time, and big thank you to Dougie and all the gang from Martin Farm and Ranch. Man, it's going to be a scorcher pretty soon. Not now. We're not, hopefully not going to have temperatures 100 plus anytime soon, but this summer it's going to be a scorcher. So make sure that your cattle have Purina liquid feed. See Dougie at Martin Farm and Ranch. AccuWeather meteorologist Jeffrey Nordine. Okay, current conditions. What you got right now, Jeffrey? 7 o'clock.
78 in Brownsville. We're at 77 in McAllen, Harlingen, 76, and West Laco, same temperature, 77 in Edinburgh.
Looking back at reports, yes. Anybody get any significant rain yesterday? I know it was in forecast. Anyone in the region?
Let's check the 24-hour numbers. We got...
I didn't see much around here in McAllen.
Oh, come on, computer. You want to load? There we go. No, not much, actually. 24-hour precipitation, mainly for San Antonio, Corpus Christi, getting anywhere between an inch to 2 inches.
So are you keeping the chance of rain in the forecast pop up anywhere in Deep South Texas, or are we done with that?
Pretty much done, and it's out of the forecast until Thursday next week.
Okay, Phil. Texas travel for today. I noticed the gang up in Dallas. They have their weather alert and all the bells and whistles blowing overnight. So what's going on?
Yep. So there's heavy rain and thunderstorms that not only could lead to some flooding issues, but they could be on the stronger side today and into tomorrow. So just be aware of that if you're heading up. The rain band is pretty much in or near Corpus Christi and then curving in more or less a bow shape. All the way up to Oklahoma. So anywhere along that is going to see showers and thunderstorms. Houston will not be exempt. They're going to see those here a little bit later this morning. San Antonio is more or less seeing it now. And I'm anticipating that another wave develops as this passes on by.
All right. So there you go. So highs today, upper 80s, same thing tomorrow. So that's good. At least we're avoiding triple digits, would you say, for another week? Hopefully, another week plus. We can avoid triple.
How long do you want it?
As long as you can give.
I can give it for at least 2 weeks. The temperature trends in the next 2 weeks are upper 80s, low, maybe mid 90s. And then we have a system coming up, as I mentioned, Thursday next week, where we're going to see some showers and thunderstorms.
All right. I'm checking the National Day calendar for today.
I got National Take a Chance Day.
Yeah. Okay, take a chance. Take a chance.
Take a chance on me. Sorry, that's a ABBA song.
Oh, no. Thank you. Thank you for the earworm.
Hey.
For a while. Let's see here. Oh, it's a beautiful picture. You see a picture of this on the national calendar. It's Cherry Cheesecake Day. So it's a cheesecake with a bunch of beautiful cherries just slathered all on top with that little some of that little juice, cherry
I'm
juice.
gonna have to call one of the stations in Western Minnesota. There's a gal who I used to work with. Her name is Cherry, so I'll have to call her and say happy Cheesecake Day.
There's some cheesecake today. It's also picnic day, so I guess the forecast is okay for picnics. It's going to be nice and cloudy and temperatures upper 80s for today.
Yeah.
Thank you, Jeffrey. We'll speak to you next hour. That's AccuWeather meteorologist Jeffrey Nordine on 710 KURV. The International Monetary Fund, all the bean counters out there, also the Organization for Economic Cooperation and Development, OECD, those two organizations saying that it is Mexico. That's the only major world economy that is expected to contract this year, maybe next year as well, by at least 0.5%. University of Texas, Rio Grande Valley, they would like you to say yes to a new Cameron County arena. A measure that is on the ballot would be asking voters to allow local leaders to use the current hotel occupancy tax and rental car tax to kickstart the building of an arena. It's on the ballot right now. Election is May 3rd. Cameron County Judge Eddie Trevino went to social media and showed a letter from UTRGV giving a thumbs up to the measure. The president of UTRGV saying the completion of a new arena in Cameron County would be a critical step forward for the county, and yes, would allow Cameron County Brownsville graduates to stay in the area and enjoy a graduation here and not have to go to Edinburgh. The Texas Senate will consider a bill that requires transgender individuals to use public bathrooms that align with their biological sex. It is Senate Bill 240. It would also keep biological men out of women's prisons in Texas and women's family violence shelters. On the national level, the Department of Education is going to start collecting some of that student debt that is in default. May 5th is the date. The Department of Education announcing collections will begin on May 5th, and some borrowers might be referred to debt collectors or have their checks, their paychecks, reduced and try to pay some of that back. Back to Texas, there are now more than 600 confirmed cases of the measles in the state of Texas. Almost 30 new infections were reported recently by state health officials. 7:14 on News Talk 710 KURV. This is the Valley's Morning News. Conversation with our Cameron County Judge, Eddie Trevino, looking at, some of the continuing work post-flood, some of the applications and reports coming in, likely exceeding well above that threshold necessary to get some FEMA applications, some FEMA assistance. That's next on the Valley's Morning News.
Give your liver the support it needs with Active Liver. Go to newnordicusa.com, Amazon, or ask for Active Liver at your local CVS. New Nordic.
At Rivetta's Machinery in Donna, they're bringing the best deals on Coyote equipment to your job site, your farm, or your backyard. Right now, take advantage of 0% interest or up to $6,000 cash back on Coyote track loaders and skid steers. These are machines built for maximum performance no matter the task. But don't stop there. They're also offering fantastic savings on Coyote tractors, zero-turn mowers, and utility vehicles. And whether you're hauling something, mowing, tackling other big jobs, Coyote has the equipment to help you get it done. If you're looking for great deals and great service from a team that treats you like family, look no further than Rivetta's Machinery and Coyote. Start your next project right. Visit Rivetta's Machinery in Donna or browse their deals when it suits you at mynewtractor.com. That's their website, mynewtractor.com. Rivetta's for the long haul. See dealer for full details.
Brian Kilmeade here, inviting you to tune in weekday mornings starting at 9 for the Sergio Show with Sergio Sanchez on News Talk 710 KURV and KURV.com.
Thank you much for joining us on the Valley's Morning News. Discover us at Radio Panamí. Download that free app today. Astros Baseball on 710 KURV. Today it's They already won the series with the Blue Jays, this series at home. So the final game of the series tonight, 6:10 pregame on 710 KURV against Toronto. Astros baseball made possible by Dr. T's Primary Care for Men and Women. Big thank you as well to the Mission Economic Development Office. Let's head back to Brownsville. Our Cameron County Judge Eddie Trevino joining us. We got some business to catch up to. Okay, first up is, I know what's on the minds of a lot of property owners, Judge, is what type of government assistance, if any, where are we in the process of declarations left and right and FEMA work and all that stuff? What can you tell us post-flood from a few days back?
I think as we speak today, we've got like a little over 2,000 homes that have been destroyed as a result of the flooding. We requested a declaration of disaster by the governor, which was done, and we are now awaiting. He has sent that decision on to the federal government, to the president, and we're waiting the president's decision for FEMA approval. Once we know that the FEMA approval has been done, then they'll send teams down to be able to get the information both in person and online. There's still individual assistance. If you've not submitted it, you can go to the Cameron County Text.gov website, scan the QR code to report any damage that you may have incurred. There's some certain questions. You can provide, I think, photos of your house of the damage, whether or not there's insurance, the extent of the damage, and that way they can also figure out, because we've got teams right now down here that are helping mucking and gutting, cleaning up, and depending on the severity of the particular damage of the home, then they'll figure out where to hit next, so to speak. But we're waiting on the FEMA disaster declaration. Hopefully we get that soon. But in the interim, people can continue to report their damage and their claims at the Cameron County website, CameronCountyText.gov.
I'm a bit surprised it's taken this long, but I guess I shouldn't be. After all, those are the wheels of government. But are we hoping to cross a threshold in damages? If I remember correctly, somebody from the EOC office told us that for Cameron County, it needed to be just shy of $2 million in damages. And with a number of homes you told me have been damaged already, I think we probably already crossed that $2 million.
I think our initial indication was that we had crossed that initial threshold for the county, and that's why we feel optimistic that we'll be able to get that federal declaration. Obviously, the sooner the better, but in the meantime, we'll continue to provide the assistance as people continue to report the damage, the mucking and the gutting. And we appreciate everybody's patience. We know that certain families continue to be suffering, been displaced, and we appreciate their patience. So let's get this work on.
The federal assistance that we're waiting for, what is it, like low interest, 1% loans, things like that to rebuild everything? Is that what we're hoping to benefit from?
It can be all of that. It can be immediate assistance with regards to temporary housing. It can be temporary assistance with regards to food, things of that nature. So yeah, there's a lot of assistance that can be done out there, and we need that FEMA designation, that FEMA approval.
Yeah, Cameron County Judge Eddie Trevino joining us. Now that we again suffered this bad, just awful flooding, there's some major projects that need to be addressed. For example, the other day we were speaking with Marv Esterly over at Harlingen. He's got some major repavement or things like that related to the runway. That alone, I would imagine, be over $2 million. What other big projects come to mind, Judge, that maybe need to be addressed with more pumps to be placed nearby or better drainage? What has come up that's top of mind right now as far as areas in the county that we need to prepare?
Cameron County Drainage District number 6, which was just created a few years ago through the leadership of our Commissioner Gus Reese and the Commissioner's Court, they submitted 10 applications to the Texas Water Development Board. I believe the total was for $43 million for those 10 applications. Probably never happened before, but 10 for 10, they were approved by the Texas Water Development Board for those 10 projects. The other particular are we were made aware of that because we got involved in that. There are potential other projects, both at the local level, drainage district level, and at the regional level that we're working with Hidalgo County and Willacy to trying to develop additional funding for these regional plans to develop. We know to make sure that we know what the needs are with regards to the potential drainage. When it rains in Hidalgo, even if we don't get any of it at that particular point, we're going to get it. And that's exactly what happened with this latest storm. Mercedes, Donna area got hit as rough as northern Cameron County, 15, 20 plus inches of rain. So all of that rain, thankfully, though, it didn't create any additional problems, but that's where it impacts the floodway, and it has a potential to impact our situation. But thankfully, some of the improvements that everybody's been working on, I think, help. And but there's always need and room for improvement. But it costs a lot of money. Drainage costs a lot of money, and we're trying to. The governor has talked about the fact that the water issue, in other words, retention, the development and retention, not just the desalination, developing alternative water sources, but the preservation. When the water is being pushed from upriver to get to particular points, whether it's through the irrigation districts or just through the river itself, all of that requires a lot of money. A lot of our drainage and irrigation systems are outdated, and we need a lot of improvement or investment on the infrastructure side, valley-wide.
Just curious, Judge. By the way, our guest is Cameron County Judge Eddie Trevino. Yeah, I was curious. Since a few days back, I had to sit down with some folks that are in business and also a bit of leadership and water issues. And I was just spitballing at lunch and said, hey, how about we dig like a big hole in the northern portion of Hidalgo County, like one big fat hole, like really wide, as big as a city. And that way, next time we get like 150-year rain, we hold a whole bunch of, we create Lake Hidalgo, something like that. Could that be possible also in Cameron County or closer to the coast, like make one big old hole? All these retention ponds that they're making all over the place to try to alleviate flooding. Well, would have been nice to have kept some of this fresh water from the sky.
Well, it's funny that you mentioned that. Obviously, the fact that Falcon and Amistad did not get any of the rain that we did doesn't help their situation up there. But back when I was mayor in Neon ages ago, we started working on what we call the Resaca Restoration Project, working in collaboration between the city and PUB. Brownsville is very fortunate to have a lot of Resacas, and the Resaca system is part of the flood control system. When I took office as county judge 8 years ago, I wanted to see if we could replicate that at the county level, countywide, to see if we could develop a system so that the Resacas countywide could also be utilized in those retention ponds from a water conservation standpoint, from a water supply standpoint, and from an environmental and aesthetic standpoint, obviously creating additional water life and for the birds, etc. So we're working on that through the Army Corps of Engineers, but obviously that takes money. And right now, because of the situation at the federal level, a lot of those projects that we're working on are kind of on a holding pattern. But the truth is, that's what we need. We need as many possible options in our toolbox as possible. Desalination, both from the Gulf of Mexico, and desal from ground water that can be drilled up and utilized the way Brownsville has been doing with the Southmost Regional Water Authority plant. So, but we need to do that valley-wide.
Yeah, that floodway is impressive, big, fat, wide. You mentioned Mercedes. Even somebody as we were talking at lunch saying, yeah, even creating like a weir system for the floodway. Next time we get like a tropical system, have a series of weirs all the way down to the coast where you're able to retain, and that we use it hopefully.
The Browser Weir was an idea and project that started back in the 70s, and we moved it forward. Yeah. But unfortunately, that one also didn't come to fruition. Brownsville being the last point on the river has lost a lot of water, and it could be saved by developing the weir systems along the entire river. So yeah, those are all options to do.
10-4. All right. Well, let's go to the polls. Let's go to the election. Early vote up and running, and there's a major issue for Cameron County, that special event center. So explain what you see, what is it, and of course remind everybody, I guess it's early vote and what's at stake here.
Well, back in November of 2016, the voters of Cameron County approved the issuance of a venue or visitor tax, basically calling for a 2% tax on everyone's hotel bill if you stayed within Cameron County. That visitor venue tax is state approved and can only be utilized on voter approved projects. in November of 2016 during that presidential year election when it was approved. 2 projects were put on the ballot and were approved by the voters. One was the Isla Blanca Amphitheater at Isla Blanca Park in South Padre Island. Second was the South Texas Ecotourism Center in Laguna Vista. Well, the county has completed both construction and operation of those particular projects. So for the last several years, we wanted to go back to the voters to get another approved project. You cannot use a visitor venue tax unless the voters have approved the project on which it can be used. So as we sit here today, that visitor venue tax is being collected. After May the 3rd, the election day, win, lose, or draw, it'll continue to be elected. It'll continue to be collected. So what we wanted to try to do is get another approved project. And because the state law mandates that you have to have voter approval to use a visitor tax, we have to go back. Now, there's been some confusion. Some people are afraid that if they vote in favor, that it's going to impact their property taxes. This is incorrect, and the people who are misinformed or are misinforming, should know better. But they keep insisting that this is going to impact the property taxes, which it will not. A vote in support of the project, a vote in support of this venue approved project, will be only that. Now, other people said, well, this money cannot pay for the full cost of the construction. That's correct. We've never said that it would. But this is a revenue source that the county can then go to other parties, including the city of Brownsville, including the state of Texas, to ask for their hot tax to help pay for it. The city and the county have already approved a TERS, a tax increment reinvestment zone, for the particular area where this arena is being contemplated, because that developer has already offered to donate the land necessary, 30 plus acres, for the development of the arena, right off of Highway 77, hopefully I-69 real soon, once we get the interstate designation, which is a whole separate issue. But when UTRGV decided to move their graduation to Edinburgh, all of the families in Cameron County and in Brownsville in particular were upset, because now in order to see their kids graduate, they were going to have to drive an hour and be limited potentially in the number of people who could see their kids. The high school graduations in Brownsville and in Cameron County continue to be held outdoors. All of these are examples of why, if we had an indoor facility, we'd be able to host those community events.
And that's just the graduations. That's just
graduations. That's just graduations. Okay. You'd be talking about potential sporting events. UTRGV is very interested in helping support the project by moving and having several sporting events, basketball and volleyball games. Obviously, the other school districts, besides Brownsville, Harlingen, Los Fresnos, all of them have the potential to utilize San Benito. All of them have the potential to utilize the arena as a graduation center. Part of the uniqueness of this is because it's part of a master plan development, there's going to be commercial and retail development all around the arena, so that people will be able to walk to dinner and go to an event, or go to a nightclub or a bar after an event, before or after, to have a nightcap. There will also be hotels being built nearby with regards to the potential to have other conferences or conventions there at the arena. And because it's right off of the expressway, prime real estate, the transportation or parking plan will be part of it to get people in and get them out as soon as possible.
All right. It's on. The vote is on. It's early vote now. That issue is on the ballot for all of Cameron County. Appreciate your time, Judge. Thanks for joining us, and give us an update later on. All right.
One more thing, real quick. So early vote starts tomorrow on the 22nd, and it runs through the 29th. The election day is May the 3rd. I just want to stress that if you think that Cameron County can and should be moving forward, then you should be voting in support of this. It is not going to impact your property taxes. This is only to approve the use of the visitor and venue tax. That's the first step in a long process. We've got a lot of work to do, but I think by showing the Isla Blanca, the amphitheater, and the South Texas Ecotourism, Cameron County has been a good steward of those particular funds. This money is also, let me be clear, cannot be used to fill your potholes on your streets or to address drainage projects. The visitor venue tax money can only be used for tourism and economic development related projects only.
Oh, that's true.
That's the other thing that we want to clarify. that people think, well, we should be spending this money on other items. That's all well and true, but first of all, it has to be voter approved, and it has to be state approved with regards to the particular project. And this is basically the type of project that we can try to do. We've done 2 other ones. We've done a 3rd one. And we think Cameron County and the Valley is in need of one that's being master planned so that it can be utilized and enjoyed by everybody, both people inside the Valley and outside.
All right, Judge. Thanks for the update.
Thank you.
Talk to you soon.
Appreciate it.
Our Cameron County Judge, Eddie Trevino. You're in tune with the morning news on News Talk 710 KURV. It's News Radio for South Texas. This is your station for Astros baseball. 6:10 pregame tonight on KURV. Game 3 of the series with the Blue Jays. Already won the series, took 2 games out of 3. Join us for Astros play-by-play on 710 KURV. Check of sports up next. As a talk radio, news radio audience, you'd love to stay in the know. What's going on? Be the first to know and be the business news chismoso, right? Call your friends and colleagues. Hey, did you hear this is taking place? I'll tell you one place that is creating a lot of news these days. It is our economic engine of the Rio Grande Valley. It is the RGV Port of Brownsville. There is so many billions of dollars of real market money. Man, I'm not talking about block grants or government money coming back to youth. You know, all these people saying, yeah, we need to get our money back. That's fine. I'm talking about real world, multi-billion-dollar investments. This is the golden goose laying eggs around here at the Rio Grande Valley Port of Brownsville with new steel operations, enhanced steel production, the industrial park with hundreds of millions of dollars in investment, this new food processor that's setting up there, this Italian firm, and of course, liquefied natural gas that is setting up shop to export to the world from South Texas. It's amazing news. Thousands of jobs, billions in investments for you, maybe a business opportunity, maybe be a supplier, maybe a career opportunity for you or family. Be in the know. As soon as, for example, as soon as we hear, as soon as final investment decision is made on a second liquefied natural gas node at the Port of Brownsville, you'll be the first to know. You'll be the first to hear it. What you need to do is visit the website, portofbrownsville.com, get the monthly newsletter and the breaking news, portofbrownsville.com, and sign up for the free newsletter.
Exciting events, graduations, concerts at a world-class arena right here in Cameron County. Vote for the venue. The venue tax is already in place, paid primarily by visitors through hotel stays and rental cars. No new taxes for local communities. A vote for means an arena becomes a designated venue project. Early voting is now through the 29th. Election day is Saturday, May 3rd. Vote for the venue. Paid political ad by the Cameron County Now PAC.
It's Astros baseball later tonight as they host the Toronto Blue Jays. First pitch at 6:40. Powered by Dr. T's Primary Care for Men and Women, Mission Economic Development Corporation, and News Talk 710 KURV.
The 710 KURV Sports Desk is brought to you by Dr. T's Primary Care for Men and Women.
I'm Trevor Beck with your TSN Sports Minute. Rangers switched things up last night, and it seems to have done the trick offensively.
Here's the pitch. Swung on and a high fly ball into deep right field. Going back at the wall is Butler, and it is history. Josh Smith in the leadoff spot. Hits his second home run of the year. Picks up RBI number 4. And the Rangers regain their 2-run lead. It is 4-2 in the 5th.
Rangers get the win 8-5 and go again tonight at 9 p.m. And the Astros get the offense going and take the win at home 5-1 versus the Jays.
1-1 pitch, breaking ball, that could be. Looking up, gone! Good one for Paredes. Landry's Crawford box as we go, and it's 5-1.
I'm Trevor Beck with your TSN Sports Minute.
AccuWeather says highs for today should be in the upper 80s. Right now, it's mid-70s across South Texas. Border Bridge wait times as posted on KURV.com. You can go back to our website, KURV.com. Right-hand margin, we got the reports. It's been slow going this morning, rather mild morning, so let's get an update latest hour. So Brownsville, if you headed back to Brownsville from the overnight, 45 minutes B&M, 30 veterans. Hour 15 at the Gateway Bridge. It's the busiest one. And for McAllen, not too bad, about 40, 45 at FAR. They're the busy ones at the moment. Business news, check of your money. Up next on 710 KURV. And again, the only major world economy that is expected to shrink. Negative GDP. IMF mentioned a neighbor, a U.S. neighbor. We'll talk about that in business news next on the Valley's Morning News. Celebrating Kubota Orange Days at Amigo Power Equipment. JP and Jeff waiting for you today, likely wearing a nice orange shirt. Yeah, that's the beautiful orange color of Kubota equipment that's going to help you get the job done. Kubota Orange Days at Amigo Power Equipment, Edinburgh on Monte Cristo, delivering major savings that you need for the equipment that you love, going to help you get the job done at the ranch at the lease. So join JP and Jeff at Amigo Power Equipment for all these exclusive deals on America's favorite compact tractors, number one selling compact tractors. At Amigo Power Equipment, JP and Jeff, they have Kubota factory-trained pros and going to help you match up what it is that you need to do. Okay, you might need this extension, might need this to chop up stuff. You might need this other piece of equipment to put some holes out there. Yeah, so talk with the factory-trained pros on Kubota equipment at Amigo Power Equipment with special Orange Days financing and major savings available at Amigo Power Equipment. Don't miss the chance to save big on Kubota and all the equipment and all the attachments that you've always wanted. For Kubota equipment, it's Amigo Power Equipment in Edinburgh on Monte Cristo.
I had gotten a phone call yesterday around noon, and I was at the gym at the time. They called me twice, and I called back, and they told me, you won $1,000, and I didn't believe it. I actually had to call my bank, and I called customer service and everything, and then they also confirmed that it's true that I won, and that's why I love Lone Star National Bank.
Swipe, win, repeat. For every 35 debit card swipes, our customers have a chance at winning $1,000 every quarter. Make the switch to LSNB. Start swiping today.
Pain management specialist Dr. Dennis Slavin on shoulder pain.
Our website is feelingbetteratLast.com because that's what people say as they leave my office. They really are feeling better at last. Hi, I'm Dr. Dennis Slavin with some solid advice on achy shoulders. Shoulder pain is very common, very severe, and often interferes with activities we enjoy, such as golf, tennis, fishing, doing chores, or even daily tasks like combing our hair. The good news is that most of the time, office-based, image-guided treatments provide superb pain relief, and followed by a specific home exercise program can prevent the pain from returning, so you can be feeling better at last. Patients are amazed by the pain relief. They wonder why they waited so long to be feeling better at last. That's really the key phrase, what I specialize in. I'm good at getting you feeling better at last.
With offices in McAllen and Weslaco, Dr. Dennis Slavin is only a phone call away, and many say it's the best call they've ever made. Call 956-973-0565. 973-0565.
Audio streaming on KURV.com. Powered by South Texas Buick GMC, McAllen Mission.
I'm Nicole Murray with Your Money Now. SAP shares popped 9.3% after it posted a 58% year-over-year jump in first quarter operating profit, also confirming its outlook for full-year cloud revenues. The German software giant said revenue had also jumped 11%. Tesla has reported a miss on the top and bottom lines in its first quarter earnings report as automotive revenue plunged 20% from a year earlier. Total revenue slid 9% from a year earlier. The company pointed to lower average selling prices and sales incentives as a drag on revenue and profit. A growing number of travelers are using buy now, pay later services to pay for flights, hotels, and cruises in installments, in some cases with no interest or late fees. Gen Z and millennials are far more likely to use buy now, pay later plans to pay to travel, especially trips involving live events. Futures are sharply higher after President Trump said he will not fire Fed Chair Jerome Powell. On Tuesday, the Dow gained 1016. That's Your Money Now.
And mom and dad be ready to pay $500 for the Mario Kart World pre-order of Nintendo's newest gaming console, Switch 2, that starts tomorrow. AccuWeather says highs today, upper 80s. This is the Valley's Morning News on News Talk 710 KURV. Join us online at Radio Para Mi. You don't always have the luxury to stay in town and wait until your home sells. That's why you need the Ryan and Brian real estate team. And sometimes when you need to leave this market for whatever reason, family issues or professional job issues, you need to move from the Valley fast. You need to sell your home. But yes, you want to sell for the most money, top dollar, right? You definitely need the Ryan and Brian real estate team, the only team I'm trusting to sell or buy my home. If you need to sell fast, make sure you call the Ryan and Brian real estate team, get the most money possible. And they did that recently. They had a family in San Juan that needed to leave, sell, and they did it for them. That home in San Juan sold fast and for more money than they asked for initially, right? That's the Ryan and Brian real estate team difference. Here's the number to call, 956-540-2536. The website, ryanandbrian.com. That's ryanandbrian.com.
If you're selling your home, don't be trying. Call Ryan and Brian. Go to ryanandbrian.com.
If you're looking to improve your overall health and have a better quality of life, Dr. T's Primary Care is the place to go. If you feel tired or stressed or less motivated, if you're moody or if you have trouble sleeping, Dr. T's Primary Care will evaluate you and work with you to address your health concerns, including testosterone or menopause treatment, peptide treatment, IV vitamin infusions. Their licensed staff will take the time to listen to you and work with you to improve your overall health. Check out the website, drtsprimarycare.com. Give them a call in the Cal at 956-803-0058 in Harlingen, 956-368-5247.
For over 44 years, Hest Fitness Products has been providing fitness equipment that you will not find in any store or online. Albert, the owner from Weslaco, wants her Valley family to get fit with the equipment that they will use. Exercise, be healthy, look better, feel better. Hest only represents the top equipment. Visit the store, 3501 North 10th Street, McAllen. Visit with a fitness consultant. They'll match you up with the equipment that you will use. Hest Fitness in McAllen, locally owned. Online at hestfitness.com.
Did you know Mighty Mike's Plumbing, Electrical, and HVAC also does duct cleaning?
Here, Feathers, guess what?
Tea.
Coffee. You know I don't like tea.
Oh, no. Mighty Mike's offers duct cleaning to make sure your ducts are clean and system running efficiently to save you money. Now is a great time for duct cleaning, so just call 956-686-1353.
Oh, I found callmightymike.com. They do all HVAC services and more.
Except that, but they do duct cleaning. Get your system done. Mighty Mike's to the rescue.
News Talk 710 KURV captured the conversations at Rioplex. Our own Sergio Sanchez shared what this event means for the future of business and economic growth in the Rio Grande Valley. Relive all the insights on our social media platforms. We are the South Texas Pulse of Business, 710 KURV.
News, traffic, weather, sports.
The Valley's Morning News.
News Talk 710 KURV.
Happy Wednesday. Welcome to News Radio for South Texas, the Valley's Morning News. Show producer Fred Cruz, with AccuWeather meteorologist Jeffrey Nordine. I'm Sergio Sanchez, and across the area, temperatures mostly mid-70s, highs today upper 80s. News on 710 KURV. A service of Jay Gonzalez Injury Attorneys, ready to fight for you. Call 1-800-CAR-CRASH.
Fox News, I'm CJ Pop. The public viewing for Pope Francis underway.
The procession today included cardinals, priests, and members of the Swiss Guard walking the casket from the chapel of Casa Santa Marta, his residence, to St. Peter's.
Fox's Alex Hogan in Vatican City, Catholics standing shoulder to shoulder, slowly shuffling past the casket, some traveling from thousands of miles away.
And we were meant to have an audience with him today, and we will do, but not in the way that we expected.
A funeral Saturday. Ukraine's President Volodymyr Zelensky says his nation has repeatedly said it does not rule out any format of talks that can lead to a ceasefire with Russia. Wildfires burning in southern New Jersey, growing to 8,500 acres.
We've got the wind. We've got really dry conditions.
Now, Fox meteorologist Adam Klotz, it's only 10% contained. America's listening to Fox News.
The morning news on News Talk 710 KURV, also at Radio Para Mi, at that free app. In Austin, state lawmakers are setting aside $6.5 billion for border security Yeah, now that Donald Trump is in charge and illegal immigration is down to a crawl, lawmakers in Austin still setting aside $6.5 billion for border security efforts for the next 2 years. Governor Abbott would like a refund from Washington for all the border security money Texas has spent during the Biden administration. If the $6.5 billion are approved, that would be an $18 billion refund that Texas would be asking for. There are more than 600 confirmed cases of measles in Texas, 30 more being reported by health authorities in the state. Instagram is launching a standalone video creation app. It's called Edits, and it would allow you a chance to shoot some video, edit the video using features, things like background replacements and automatic captioning. Instagram had announced Edits a few months ago. Edits features similar bells and whistles to TikTok's sister app, CapCut. I included this one just for you, Freddie. Since I know you're a big fan of the Oscars, and it's like the Oscars is like Super Bowl for Fred, producer Fred. I mean, it's like, don't talk to him. Don't, he goes into a room and that's all he does, watches the Oscars for several hours. The red carpet, the whole thing, man. It's amazing. Oscar voters, like the people in the industry that vote for the wieners at the Oscars. Check this out. I'm asking, what did they have to do before this? Oscar voters are now being required to actually watch the movies that they're voting for, according to new rules from the Academy of Motion Pictures.
So the people who are voting for the best picture, best actor, best whatever.
No, well, yes. Let's clarify. It goes on. The Academy members are now required to watch all of the nominated films and performances for which they are voting. Up to now, they were only required to see a few in the category. Now they have to see everything.
Oh,
in the
okay.
category.
Well, yeah, that's not good then.
Yeah. See, so everything in your life, Oscars related, was fake, Freddie. It was all fake. Oh, and by the way, the Cowboys getting ready for the draft, Freddie. Cowboys, they're looking for a wide receiver, defensive back. Is new owner a part of the draft? Maybe they can draft a new owner.
They need a whole new team. That's what they need.
This is the Valley's Morning News. This is News Talk 710 KURV. Join us at Radio Para Mí, the free app.
Attention all cattle ranchers. Martin Farm and Ranch Supply, the Valley's premier Purina feed dealer, is here to tell you all about the labor-saving benefits of Purina AccuRation liquid feed. With 34% protein and 5% fat, it delivers. Let us show you the cost benefits of the most sustained supplement on the market and get a free bag of mineral with your purchase. Limited time only.
Martin Farm and Ranch Supply, your premier Purina feed dealer. Just ask the horse.
Mark and Carla McCaleb reminding you, I'm reminding you on their behalf, give them a call every time I talk about the McCaleb Funeral Home family and talk about prepayment and pre-planning a funeral event. I am giving you Carla's personal number, Carla McCaleb. The promise from the McCaleb family is to make this as easy as possible. Come over to you, and wherever you are, the Brownsville area, San Benito, Harlingen, McAllen area, wherever you are, they will come to you. Have a sit down, have a heart-to-heart conversation, what you want. Or maybe you're doing this for a family member that might be approaching that season. A loss is painful enough without having to take a break from your grief and your privacy to sit down with somebody and make all these necessary decisions. That's a long list of decisions. My mom and dad did the pre-planning and prepayment thing. I'm grateful to them for doing that. And when the Lord took them home, it made things a lot easier. Trust me, you need to do this. Call Carla McCaleb. Text her, that's her cell number, and ask her to send a team member from the McCaleb family. Have a sit down, pre-plan, prepay. 956-650-2841.
You pay thousands of dollars in property tax every year, and it just seems to get higher. Well, what if I told you you could potentially reduce what you pay each year significantly, and it would cost you absolutely nothing? Either we make your property tax bill smaller, or you pay us nothing, zero. We're CAD Tax. CAD Tax has successfully been reducing property taxes for years, saving people thousands of dollars, and that reduces your monthly payment to the bank, or it puts money directly directly into your pocket. Homes, apartments, commercial properties, CAD Tax makes it easy for you. CAD Tax, you pay absolutely nothing unless they win. And when CAD Tax wins, you win. 956-631-SAVE. CAD Tax, a local company where one of their expert staff members will assist you right now. 956-631-SAVE. 631-SAVE.
Cat tax, cat tax, cat tax, cat tax.
This is your news, weather, and talk station. News Talk 710, KURV, and KURV.com.
News Talk 710, KURV.
Listen to Sergio Sanchez every morning on News Talk 710 KURV and on the Radio Parami app. Stay informed with exclusive interviews from top local and state leaders, plus economic development news, business, and medical reports, and all the local news from the RGV. It's everything you need to know to start your day right. Sergio Sanchez and News Talk 710 KURV on the free